Hello, I'm Ben Branham with Modern Self Protection, and I'm here to talk to you about my new CZ Scorpion and some of the things that I've learned by running it for the last month. What I got here is 3 different magazines from 3 different manufacturers of the CZ. Well, not of the CZ, but for the CZ Scorpion. First, this is the original. This is manufactured by CZ themselves for the Scorpion gun, and you can see they're 30 round magazines. They work great. They're translucent gray, and you can see the rounds when you stack them in there. The second one I got is from Palmetto State Armory. This is actually for their AKV, but ironically it's the same exact magazine, same pattern, same thing. It's translucent a little bit in the back. You can see the rounds in this one. They make them in a plethora of colors. They actually make an extension for it for another 15 rounds. They're both plastic molded magazines. The one thing that the PSA or the Palmetto State Armory is different. So you look in there, you can see that there's little metal lips in there. The one with the red follower right there, that's the Palmetto State Armory one. It actually has a metal lining in the lips to, I guess, help it feed or stay or work with that AK style one. I haven't had any big problems with it, but hey, it's there. The last one I have is actually my favorite one. These are from Magpul. They're their P-Mags, and you see that they're all a little different length on them. The CZ one is only 30 rounds. The other 2 are 35. So you got little different lengths on the mags, little different style. The length hasn't bothered me at all. It doesn't matter. You got to download them a couple to make them work. But the real thing I found is that, well, for 2 reasons. The P-Mag is for me, and I'm going to keep buying a bunch of them. I bought like 2 mags of everything just to see, and I'll tell you a bunch of the downsides and the upsides to them. Let's start with the Palmetto State Armory one. The upside, those metal feed lip magazine, you can see the metal feed lip in there. Man, when I'm trying to get rounds out of there, if I have to download for a stage or something, they're sharp, and I feel like I can cut my fingers on them. Don't like that. And, well, there's no markers on the mag for how many rounds are in there, too. It's translucent, but I don't know how many rounds are in there if I can't look at it. But they are super solid. They're tough. Those metal feed ramps aren't going to wear out. They seem like they're decent mags, and they're super cheap. You can get them for like 15 bucks a piece. Can't beat that. CZ mags are a little more expensive. They're about 30 bucks a piece. I have another set that are actually coupled together. You can buy the couplers for them. They're cool. They're translucent. You can see when they're all the way full, but they're complete plastic, all of them from the bottom to the top. The base plate is ginormous, but being able to couple them together and have the couplers made by CZ for these magazines is great because it puts them the right distance apart. So when they go into the gun, you can have one side by side and they don't interfere with the gun manufacturer and stuff. The P-Mag, like I said, is my favorite. Got the cool grip on them. Got the cool numbering system that you can put on them. I haven't numbered them yet because I have, count them, 2. This one and one more. And honestly, this is the one that I'm not having problems with. The other one, this last match, I had a little issue with it. I'm going to have to take it apart, clean it. Honestly, since they're all plastic, I think I'm going to take the spring out and throw it in the dishwasher, let it get clean. One of the things you can see, and not on this one, because actually I cleaned this one, but the CZ runs real dirty. It's a straight blowback, and some of that stuff goes right into the magazine. So the magazines get dirty pretty easily, and I'm thinking I'm going to have to clean them. But there's a couple other things I really like about the P-Mag. I mean, one, they're 20 bucks. So, I mean, where are you going to get a magazine that's 20 bucks? The other thing I really like that you don't need to, but you can see there's witness holes in there, and each witness hole tells you how many rounds are in there. I got 10, 20, 30, and 35. I never load these things up all the way because they won't go in on a closed bolt. So I'll run 33 rounds or just a straight 30 rounds in them so I can see when they get to that little number. I love that idea of the witness hole. But that's not the number one reason that I'm running the P-Mags. The number one reason I'm running the P-Mags is because they actually drop free. So I got my CZ here, and if I have it on just a closed bolt, and I put that Palmetto State in there, it locks in super tight. There's no give to it. But if I hold it and I push the release, that magazine is not coming out. I actually have to grab it, AK style, grab the release, and then pull it out. That's the only way that one's coming out of there. And if you lock it open with the bolt open, it actually has a bolt hold. It even gets worse. That mag, because now it's holding the bolt, is tighter. And it's super tight in there. If you're going to run it like an HK and pull those mags down every single time, if I lock open the bolt all the way, it wouldn't be a problem. and no big deal at all. You'll hardly ever notice that they're a little bit tight, and you can see if I cram it in and out a bunch that they'll come in. But super tight, you know they're in there. I lock them in there and they're not going anywhere. I do like that about them, but again, they won't fall free. The CZ mags, they're a little different. So if the bolt is closed, they fall free no problem. Out it goes, and so I could run it, so I'm shooting and I can just push the button and let it go out, or I can grab it like an HK and just rip them out and retain those magazines. But it won't if you lock the bolt forward. See, if I lock the bolt gets locked open, and it's locked open on the magazine spring. That thing ain't going nowhere unless I give it a rip. Kind of a pain in the butt, right? So that one's out. The PMag goes in there, and it wiggles a little bit, which I was kind of worried about, because all the other ones are a lot solider. But with that wiggle, it drops out no problem. I can just have it fall out, and it doesn't even have to be straight up and down. And then with the bolt locked open, it will still fall out as long as the weapon's straight up and down. So I can't be running the gun and tuck it, and the mag's not going to come out. It's not going to come straight out and up. But what I'm trying to do, because I'm trying to win the match, is go faster. I want to be able to reload this thing on my shoulder, so I want to be able to just push the button, have the mag go away, put the new one in, lock the bolt, let the bolt go, and be on my way. So for that reason, the PMags are what I'm going to. I've only been running them for about a month, so their longevity and how they're going to last, I don't know, but every other PMag I've had for every other weapon, it works great. I've got ones that are, Gen 1 PMags for my AR that still work, and I still use them. So I'm going to buy some more and see what happens. Now, the one malfunction I did have is on the magazine. It seems like, I don't know if it swelled down there or what, but when I loaded up all the rounds all the way and I tried to put it into the gun, it actually got stuck and it fell out on its own, because I was running a match, and it's always embarrassing when you're running around and you go to do your mag change and you put your mag in there and you go like this and the mag falls down because you didn't get it seated all the way. Well, I picked up that mag, pushed down on those rounds. Those rounds didn't go in. I only had 30 rounds in the magazine, maybe 33. That was my other problem. I didn't really count how many rounds. I was just having a good time goofing off, so I didn't know what was in the magazine. So I don't know if those PMags are going to work great or not, but so far they are my choice. They're what I'm going to in this rifle, and we're going to find out. I'm going to keep running them. I'm going to run them through the dishwasher, clean them out, see what happens, and keep going. So that's something you can look for in all your mags, especially in all your guns. But definitely the CZ, I have pairs of everything. I have 2 PMags, they work the same. I have 2 Palmetto State Armory mags, they work the same. And I have 3 CZ mags, and they all work the same. And the CZ mag, yes, it is really weird. It does it every time. If I pick it up off the floor, put it in there, lock the bolt to the rear, it ain't coming out. Now if I let the bolt go home, you see I slapped it, make sure it's in there, every time. Don't know what that is, don't know why, but that's the way the CZ mags seem to be designed, because all 3 of them do that every single time. So it's either a gun design or a gun malfunction if you can repeat it all the time. So I can repeat all of that with all of the mags, and they all work the same. Hope you enjoyed this video. If you're running one of these CZ Scorpions, I hope you're enjoying it. I am loving running this thing. I haven't even done anything to it yet, except for put this optic on here, this hollow sun, and it was the cheapest hollow sun I could find. Actually, on the cheap end, I guess I'm going off here. On the cheap end, I really like the SIG optic better, and it was a little bit cheaper. They're like 20 or 30 bucks cheaper. If you're going to buy the hollow sun, the more expensive one that has the ring and the dot, I think I'm going to save up and buy one of those. They're about twice as expensive. They're like 350 bucks. This one was like 150 bucks. It's like 120 for the SIG ones right now. I'm going to try that dot and see how it does. But other than that, I'm going to take the sights off of this one and just make it my competition rifle and run it straight like that. Let me know how you do with your CZ, what you're doing with it, and what you've made modifications to it that have actually helped you.